from the 11th of March 2024, and the committee should table its report before the table of the House before the 19th of June 2024. The establishment of a special committee to investigate a report on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor for Kissii County, is a motion that senators will be considering this afternoon. In this particular motion is that Senate establishes or considers establishing a committee to look into matters to do with impeachment and whether all the grounds for impeachment have been met by the members of the County Assembly of Kissii County when they impeached the Deputy Governor. Just to take you through some of the members proposed to sit in the committee, in the 11-member committee, include the Senator for Kajiado County, Senator Sekilenku, Senator for Bungoma, David Wafula Wakoli, the Senator for Murang'a County, Senator John Nyoto, Senator Okiya Omtatah from Busia County, Isaboy Juma from Kwale County, nominated Senator Shakil Abdallah as well as Crystal Asige. This special committee is set to investigate the proposed removal from office of Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor for Kissii County. And this is pursuant to Standing Orders number 80, subsection 2. The committee is also set to table its report before the floor of the Senate within 10 days of its appointment. So we await to see this afternoon if the House will be agreeing to the motion by the Senate leader of the majority party, Honorable Senator Aaron Cheriot. Under the Committee of the Whole, senators are set to consider 2 bills this afternoon. Among them is the Care and Protection of Children Parents Bill. This is Senate Bills number 29 of the year 2023 by nominated Senator Miraj Abdullahi. And the Water Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 33 of the year 2023. The Affordable Housing Bill, National Assembly Bills number 75 of the year 2023 is a bill currently at the second stage, and we expect senators this afternoon to make their input in regards to the proposals in the bill. Another business for consideration this afternoon is the Energy Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 42 of the year 2023. By Senator for Nairobi County, Senator Edwin Sifuna. And away from that, the House will also be considering the National Rating Bill. This is a bill originating from the National Assembly Bills number 55 of the year 2022. Pursuant to Standing Orders of the Senate, Standing Orders number 53, subsection 1, a couple of senators, 6 of them in particular, are set to seek statements from standing committees of the House. Given priority is the Senator for Migori County, Senator Eddie Oketch, who will be seeking a statement from the Standing Committee on Matters National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the use of unnecessary and excessive force by the police during the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union during a peaceful protest. The Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Amason Kingi, is already in the chamber this afternoon. Allow me to hand you over for this live broadcast. Enjoy your viewing.
Mwenyezi Mungu, twakusihi ututazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri yetu. Twakuomba utuajalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Clerk, do we have quorum? Now that we do have quorum, proceed to call the first order, please.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Senator Gloria, can you take your seat, please? Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon a visiting delegation from the County Assembly of Elgeyo Marakwet. The delegation comprises 7 members and 5 officers of the Committee on Delegated Legislation who are on a benchmarking visit with their counterparts in the Senate. Now, Honorable Senators, I request each member of the delegation to stand when called out so that they may be acknowledged in the Senate tradition. The Honorable Sally Kosgei, the Honorable John Koima, Honorable Christopher Cheboiboch, Honorable Simeon Chepseba, Honorable Eda Rotich, Honorable Gilbert Ngetich, Honorable Joshua Kipruto, Gladys Komen, Collins Limo, Lona Tuwei, Michael Kapkiai, and lastly Timothy Kipchumba. On behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome and wish you a fruitful visit. I will call upon the Senator for Elgeyo Marakwet, Honorable Kisang, under 1 minute, to extend a word of welcome to the delegation.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Senate of Kenya, I wish to take this opportunity to welcome the MCs from Elgeyo Marakwet County, the 7 of them and the 5 secretariat who are serving delegated Delegated Legislation Committee in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is a very good trip for them to learn a lot from established parliament. This committee basically deals with regulations, and Honorable Speaker, there are a few funds that have been established in Elgeyo Marakwet County, and some of them do not have regulations, and we've agreed with them says that when they go back, they ensure that they start drafting and passing regulations to implement the acts that have been passed in the last assemblies, both the first 2013, 2017, and 2017, 2018, and the current assembly. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much as they prepare to go back also, because we have so many activities lined up for the weekend. Safe journey back home, and we'll meet over the weekend during our usual engagements. God bless you.
Next order, Clerk.
Order number 3, messages.
Honorable Senators, wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 46.3 and 4, I received the following message from the Speaker of the National Assembly with respect to the resolution of the National Assembly on the report of the National Dialogue Committee. The message, which is dated 29th of February 2024, was received on Wednesday, 5th of March 2024 in the office of the Clerk of the Senate. Pursuant to the said standing order, I now proceed to report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41, of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the National Assembly and the Senate on Wednesday, 16th August 2023 and Tuesday, 29th of August 2023, respectively, considered and passed a resolution on the establishment of a National Dialogue Committee, which was mandated to facilitate dialogue and consensus building and recommend appropriate constitutional, legal, and policy reforms on issues of concern to the people of Kenya to be framed by the committee. And whereas the National Assembly and the Senate, by resolutions passed on Tuesday, 17th of October 2023 and Wednesday, 18th of October 2023, respectively, extended the mandate of the National Dialogue Committee by a further 30 days from the 28th of October 2023, consequently to which the committee will report to the leadership of Kenya Kwanza and as mere coalitions on or before the 26th of November 2023, and thereafter submit its report to Parliament. Further, whereas the National Assembly, by a resolution passed on Thursday, 22nd February 2024, adopted the report of the National Dialogue Committee laid on the table of the National Assembly on Thursday, 7th December 2023, now therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 41-1 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the said resolution of the National Assembly to the Senate for consideration. Honorable Senators, as you may be aware, the Senate, by a resolution passed on Wednesday, 21st of February 2024, during the afternoon sitting, also adopted the report of the National Dialogue Committee laid on the table of the Senate on Wednesday, 14th February 2024. This decision was communicated to the National Assembly via a message dated 23rd of February 2024. I thank you. Honorable Senators, you may take your seat. Walk in and take your seats, because I have a further communication to make. Honorable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that I have, pursuant to Standing Order 48-4, received a message from the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kisii regarding the removal from office by way of impeachment of His Excellency Honorable Dr. Robert Onsare Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kissy County. The message conveyed to the Senate via letter dated Friday, 1st of March 2024, signed by the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kisii, and received in my office on Saturday, 2nd March 2024, indicated that the County Assembly had passed the resolution to remove the Deputy Governor from office pursuant to Article 181, 1A and C of the Constitution, as read together with Section 33 of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 60 and 61 of the Kissy County Assembly Standing Orders by a majority of 53 votes out of 70 on the following grounds. 1. Gross violation of the Constitution or any other law. The particulars of this allegation are that the Deputy Governor violated Articles 10, 73, and 75 and 232 of the Constitution of Kenya by soliciting and receiving a bribe to influence the recruitment process at the Kisii Water and Sanitation Company, Gwasiko, and 2, breach the Leadership and Integrity Act, Sections 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, 32, and 34, and Public Officers Ethics Act, Sections 9, 11, 1, 12, 2A and I, C, by compromising the integrity of a public recruitment institution for personal gain. 2, abuse of office. The particulars of this allegation are that the Deputy Governor used his position to solicit Kenya shillings 800,000 shillings, thereby conferring a financial benefit upon himself and attempting to influence Gwasiko's hiring decision by sending Kenya shillings 100,000 to its managing director, violating Articles 10, 27, 73(2) and B, 75, and 232 of the Constitution, Section 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 24, 32, and 34 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, Section 11, 1, 2A and I, and C of the Public Officers and the Ethics Act, and Section 6, 1A, C, 2, 3 of the Bribery Act. and 2, unlawfully diverted county enforcement officers to work on his farm and misused the executive power to target his relatives. Ground number 3, gross misconduct. The particulars of this allegation are that the Deputy Governor contravened Article 75 of the Constitution by attempting to influence the appointment process for the position of commercial manager at Gwasiko by offering a bribe to its managing director, Ms. Lucy Wahito Wachira. Grounds number 4, crimes under national law. The particulars of this allegation are that the Deputy Governor breached the Bribery Act, Section 6(1)(a), C, 2, 3 by soliciting and receiving bribes of Kenya shillings 800,000 shilling and sending Kenya shillings 100,000 to the managing director of Gwasiko so as to influence the award of a contract of employment to a preferred interviewee. Honorable Senators, annexed to the letter conveying this message of the County Assembly were the following documents: the motion of impeachment. Honorable Senators, kindly take your seats. I've got a long way to go still. Now, Honorable Senators, annexed to the letter conveying the decision of the County Assembly were the following documents: the motion of impeachment, the votes and proceedings, the order paper of the sitting day, notice of motion, list of signatures of members in support attached to the motion for impeachment, the Hansard recording for the 13th and 21st February 2024, a copy of a complaint letter from one Mr. Dennis Mokaya Misati to Honorable Wycliffe Siocha Gesongori, a copy of the complaint from Mr. Dennis Mokaya Misati to the Director of Ethics and an Anti-Corruption Commission, and an affidavit by Mr. Dennis Mokaya Misati in support of the allegations against the Deputy Governor, an advertisement for vacancy at Gwasiko, a shortlisting of suitable candidates for the vacancy advertised by Gwasiko, the application by Mr. Dennis Mokaya for the post of commercial manager at Gwasiko, a copy of M-Pesa statement belonging to Mr. Dennis Mokaya, an affidavit by Mr. Ruben Monda Orangi Matundura, a copy of an M-Pesa statement belonging to Ms. Lucy Wahito, a witness statement by Ms. Lucy Wahito, a copy of the public participation advertisement and the report, a witness statement by Mr. David Hagai Oyagi, a witness statement by Ms. Gladys Aminga, and lastly, a witness statement by Mr. Enoch Maranga. The letter further stated that the Hansard recordings of the Assembly proceedings of the 29th February 2024 would be submitted to the Senate on Friday, 8th March 2024. Now, Honorable Senators, in terms of Article 181 of the Constitution, Section 33, 3A of the County Governments Act, 2012, and Standing Order 81A of the Senate Standing Orders, the Speaker of the Senate is required within 7 days after receiving notice of a resolution from the Speaker of a County Assembly to convene a meeting of the Senate to hear the charges against the Governor. Pursuant to Section 33, 3B of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 81A of the Senate Standing Orders, I hereby proceed to read the charges against the Deputy Governor of Kissy County as contained in the motion of impeachment by the County Assembly of Kisii. Charge number 1, gross violation of the Constitution or by any other law. The particulars of this allegation are that the Deputy Governor violated Articles 10, 73, 75, and 232 of the Constitution of Kenya by soliciting and receiving a bribe to influence the recruitment process at the Gusii Water and Sanitation Company, Gwasiko, and 2, breach the Leadership and Integrity Act, Sections 8, 9, 10, 11, 24, 32, 34, and the Public Ethics Act, Sections 9, 11, 1, 11, 2A1, C, by compromising the integrity of a public recruitment institution for a personal gain. Charge number 2, abuse of office. The particulars of this allegation are that the Deputy Governor used his position to solicit Kenya shillings 800,000, thereby conferring a financial benefit upon himself and attempting to influence Gwasiko's hiring decision by sending Kenya shillings 100,000 to its managing director, violating Articles 10, 27, 73(2) and B, 75 and 232 of the Constitution, Sections 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 24, 32, and 34 of the Leaders and Integrity Act, Sections 11, 1, 2AI, C of the Public Officers and Ethics Act, and Section 61A, C, 2 and 3 of the Bribery Act. Unlawfully diverted county enforcement officers to work on his farm and misused executive power to target his relative. Charge number 3, gross misconduct. The particulars of this allegation are that the Deputy Governor contravened Article 75 of the Constitution by attempting to influence the appointment process for the position of commercial manager at Gwasiko by offering a bribe to its managing director, Ms. Lucy Wahito Washira. Charge number 4, crimes under national law. The particulars of this allegation are that the Deputy Governor breached the Bribery Act, Section 61A, C, 2 and 3 by soliciting and receiving bribes of Kenya shillings 800,000 and sending Kenya shillings 100,000 to the Managing Director of Gwasiko so as to influence the award of a contract of employment to a preferred interviewee. Now, honorable senators, in terms of the way forward, before I give the way forward, honorable senators, you may walk in and take your seats. Order, order, honorable senators. Kindly take your seats so that we proceed with business. Senator Murango. Senator Murango, Senator Gloria, you are totally out of order. When the chair is upstanding, you freeze. Now, honorable senators, in terms of the way forward, following the reading of the charges against the Deputy Governor, Standing Order 81B of the Senate Standing Orders as read together with Section 33, 3B of the County Governments Act give the Senate 2 options on how to proceed with this matter. The options are as follows. The Senate may, by resolution, appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter or investigate the matter in plenary. The Senate Majority Leader will, at the appropriate time during this sitting, give a notice of a motion for the establishment of a special committee. Should this motion be carried, the special committee will be required under Section 33(4) of the County Governments Act and Standing Order 82 of the Senate to investigate the matter and report to the Senate on whether it finds the particulars of the allegations against the Deputy Governor to have been substantiated. In the event that the motion for establishment of a special committee does not pass, the fallback position is that the Senate shall proceed to investigate and consider the matter in plenary. In this event, I will appoint the dates on which the Senate will sit in plenary to hear and determine the charges against the Deputy Governor. Honorable Senators, it is noteworthy, and I wish to emphasize to all honorable senators, that when we come to debate on the motion for establishment of the special committee, debate on the motion shall be limited to the substance of the motion, principally whether or not to establish the special committee. It will not be a debate on the substance of the impeachment or its merits, propriety, prudence, or even the constitutionality or legality of the process that have preceded the submission of this matter to the Senate. It is therefore not permissible, honorable senators, to deviate to any issues other than the motion before the Senate. In the meantime, and during the pendency of the impeachment process in the Senate, I wish to caution honorable senators to desist from publicly commenting on the merits and demerits of this impeachment motion before the Senate. Doing so will amount to anticipation of debate, which is an infringement of Standing Order 99. Therefore, honorable senators, it shall be out of order, within the meaning of Standing Order 122, for any senator to make comments, whether written or spoken, in relation to the conduct of the Deputy Governor or the impeachment process outside the confines of the impeachment proceedings, as such comments may prejudice the just outcome of this process. Now, honorable senators, this is the fourth impeachment hearing in the 13th Parliament, and the second one involving a Deputy Governor. In undertaking this mandate, the Senate will be sitting as a quasi-judicial body and will conduct investigation into the alleged infractions of the Constitution and the law, and thereafter make its determination on the matter. As such, this is a reminder that the impeachment hearing is not just a procedural formality, but a fundamental process. Senator Fonyandarwa, consult in a low tone. The chair must be heard in silence. As such, this is a reminder that the impeachment hearing is not just a procedural formality, but a fundamental process that plays a crucial role in upholding the principle of democracy and good governance. This hearing is one of the most crucial oversight tools and roles of the Senate. I conclude by urging all honorable senators to exercise the highest level of responsibility on this particular matter. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate today, Thursday, the 7th of March, 2024. These are the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the following for the year ended 30th June, 2023. The County Executive of Kwale, Kwale County Assembly, Kwale County Assembly members and staff loan scheme fund, Kwale County Trade Revolving Fund, Kwale County Youth, Women and Persons with Disability Revolving Fund, Kwale
Order,
County...
Honorable Senators, order. Senator Newton, you can hug out of this chamber, not inside the chamber. Proceed.
The Kwale County Emergency Fund, the County Executive of Taita Taveta, the County Assembly of Taita Taveta, Taita Taveta Education Fund, the County Government of Taita Taveta Receiver of Revenue, Taita Taveta County Datu Sawazisha Fund, the County Executive of Tana River, the County Assembly of Tana River, the County Government of Tana River Receiver of Revenue, the County Assembly of Tana River Car Loan and Mortgage Fund, Tana River County Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund, Tana River County Disaster Risk Management Fund, Tana River County Emergency Fund, Tana River County Inuka Fund, Tana River County Ward Bursary Fund, the County Government of Tana River County Revenue Fund, Mombasa County Assembly Car Loan and Mortgage Fund, the County Government of Mombasa County Revenue Fund, Mombasa County Consolidated Revolving Fund, Mombasa County Elimu Scheme, Mombasa County Alcoholics Drink Control Fund, the County Government of Mombasa County Receiver of Revenue, West Pokot County Bursary Education Development and Infrastructure Fund, Embu County Youth Trust Fund, Meru County Executive Staff Housing Fund, Nyandarua County Assembly Staff Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund, Tharaka Nithi County Executive Staff Mortgage and Car Loan Scheme Fund, Kilifi County Emergency Fund, Kilifi County Microfinance Wezesha Fund, Turkana County Executive State and Public Officers Car Loan and Mortgage Fund, Turkana County Assembly Car Loan and Member Scheme Fund, Turkana County Assembly Staff Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund, Turkana County Cooperative Enterprise Development Fund, Uasin Gishu Education Revolving Fund, the County Executive of Trans Nzoia, County Assembly of Trans Nzoia. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay.
The Chairperson, County Public Accounts Committee.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, 7th of March 2024. Report of the Select Committee on County Public Accounts on consideration of the reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of West Pokot County Assembly for the financial year 2018-2019 and reports of the Auditor General on financial statements of Isiolo, Kiambu, Kitui, Marsabit, Narok, Nyamira, Trans Nzoia, West Pokot, and Murang'a County Assemblies for the financial year 2019-2020. I beg to lay.
Order, Honorable Senators, the Chairperson, Standing Committee on Finance and Budget.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today. The 7th of March 2024. This is a report of Standing Committee of Finance and Budget on the 2024 medium-term debt management strategy. Thank you.
Next order, Clerk.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, which is the establishment of a special committee to investigate and report on the proposed removal from office by way of impeachment of the Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kissii County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that whereas pursuant to Standing Order number 181, the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, on Thursday, the 29th of February 2024, the Kisii County Assembly approved a motion to remove from office by impeachment the Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kissii County. And further, whereas by a letter dated 1st of March 2024 and received in the office of the Speaker of the Senate on Saturday, the 2nd of March 2024, the Speaker of the Kissii County Assembly informed the Speaker of the Senate of the approval of the motion by the County Assembly and further forwarded to the Speaker of the Senate documents in evidence of the proceedings to the Assembly. And whereas, pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Government Act and Standing Order number 81(b) and 9 of the Senate, and the Senate by resolution may appoint a special committee comprising of 11 of its members to investigate the matter. Now, therefore, Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Government Act and Standing Order number 81(b) and 9, the Senate resolves to establish a special committee comprising of the following senators. 1, Senator Seki Lenku Olekanar. 2, Senator David Wafula Wakoli. 3, Senator Mariam Sheikh Omar. 4, Senator Joe Nyutu. 5, Senator James Lomonen. 6, Senator Professor Margaret Kamar. 7, Senator Okiya Omtata. 8, Senator Beth Siengo. 9, Senator Issa Juma Boy. 10, Senator Shakila Abdallah. 11, Senator Crystal Asige. to investigate the proposed removal from office of Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kissii County, and pursuant to Standing Order number 82, to report to the Senate within 10 days of its appointment on whether or not its findings, the particulars of the allegations against the Deputy Governor, have been substantiated. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Chairman, Standing Committee on County Public Accounts.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that the Senate adopts the report of the Select Committee on County Public Accounts on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General of the financial statements of West Pokot County Assembly for the financial year 2018-2019 and reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements of Isiolo, Kiambu, Kitui, Marsabit, Narok, Nyamira, Trans Nzoia, West Pokot, and Moranga County Assemblies for the financial year 2019-2020 laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 7th of March 2024. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Chairperson, Standing Committee of Finance and Budget.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of motion that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on the 2024 medium-term debt management strategy laid on the table of the Senate today, Thursday, 7th of March 2024.
Next order, Clerk.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statements pursuant to Standing Order 52, the Honorable Senator Samson Chirange.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Statement on an issue of general topical concern on the performance of Kenyan athletes at the 2024 Tokyo Marathon on last weekend, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I raise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on the issue of general topical concern and national importance, the outstanding performance of our Kenyan team at the Tokyo Marathon 2024, held on Sunday, 3rd March 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, once again, our athletes, sportsmen, and women have brought glory to our country, this time through a podium sweep of the Tokyo Marathon on Sunday. The team was led by Benson Kipruto, who hails from truly Nandi County, who shattered the course record by clocking 2 hours, 2 minutes and 16 seconds, and setting a new Japanese all-comers record and a new world record on the track. Mr. Speaker, sir, Benson Kipruto was followed by his fellow compatriot Timothy Kiplagat, who came second. Vincent Kipkemboy Ngetich finished third in 2 hours, 4 minutes and 18 seconds, giving Kenya a podium finish. Ethiopians Al-Mariam Kiros and Segae Ketachu came fourth and fifth. Bethuel Kipruto came sixth, while the GOAT, or golden of all, or the greatest of all times, Eliud Maestro, Eliud Kipchoge, was 10th in 2 hours, 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 32-year-old Kipruto Benson improved his time by 2 minutes from his previous personal best, making him the fifth fastest marathon runner of all times in the events approved by the World Athletics, Mr. Speaker, sir. In 2022, Benson Kipruto won the Chicago Marathon and later came second in 2023, where the late legend Kevin Kiptum broke the world marathon record at Chicago Marathon. May his soul rest in peace, Mr. Speaker. So, Speaker, sir, I also wish to congratulate Rosemary Wanjiru, who came second in the women's race, clocking 2 hours, 16 minutes and 14 seconds. Ethiopians Atum Asefu Kabede won the race, clocking 2 hours, 15 minutes and 55 seconds. And of course, the famous Siva Hassan came third. Mr. Speaker, sir, even as we continue to wish well the family of the fallen hero and the current world marathon record holder Kevin Kiptum, I continue to urge both the majority and minority leaders to make the necessary arrangements for our world beaters from all across sports to visit and address the Senate on the most outstanding achievement that sometimes go unnoticed. So, Speaker, sir, by doing this, our sportsmen and women who have continued to make us proud as a country at the international arena by always flying our flag high will feel appreciated and motivated to achieve even more for the nation. Mr. Speaker, sir, I continue to call upon the Ministry of Sports, Athletics Kenya, and the National Olympics Committee of Kenya, NOC, and other sports federations to embrace openness and transparency during team selection for various teams representing Kenya in multiple competitions across the world, and shun the alleged corrupt practices taking place during team and official selections, payment of allowance, kits distribution, and addressing of athletes' welfare. This call to action is especially pertinent as we approach this year's Olympics 2024 in Paris. And Mr. Speaker, it's worth to note that the selection of one part per event was uncalled for, and you saw the athletes protesting, Mr. Speaker, and I know the Federation and Ministry of Sports will rectify to ensure at least we select 3 athletes per event or 3 sportsmen and women by event to improve our chances of coming up with gold at Ghana in April when we'll be doing all Africa Games. Mr. Speaker, I wish also to call upon the anti-doping agency to enhance its vigilance and eradicate rogue agents and coaches who are masquerading as athletes and spoiling the careers of the good name of athletes. So, Speaker, I want to call upon that all the value chain of criminal enterprise of doping our athletes, sportsmen, and women, from the doctors, chemists, coaches, trainers, not only punishing athletes, but punishing the entire chain that continues to undermine the great resource, Mr. Speaker. I also call upon that sportsmen and women should be used as brand Kenya ambassador going into the future to market our country as part of sports tourism. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I wish to congratulate our athletes for their good performance at the World Indoor Championships in Glasgow, Scotland. Beatrice Chepkoech won a bronze medal in 3,000 meters. At the same time, other teammates registered good results, indicating a good season this year. Mr. Speaker, I want to tell sportsmen and women that going into the future, the Senate and the Parliament of the Republic of Kenya will always support them in the endeavor of making Kenya a great nation among League of Nations. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Senator Veronica Maina.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I raise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing.
Senator Veronica,
yes.
We are under statement pursuant to Standing Order 52.1. 52.1.
Okay, then thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for that. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on the matter of general topical concern, namely the imperative to uphold and advance the rights and status of women in Kenya, particularly as we prepare to celebrate the International Women's Day on Friday, 8th March 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we approach International Women's Day, I rise to honor the indelible contributions of Kenyan women to our nation's advancement. From the bustling marketplaces to corporate boardrooms and the fertile farmlands, women remain the bedrock of Kenya's social and economic fabric. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 2/3 gender rule remains a pivotal call to action in our journey towards gender parity in leadership. However, it's imperative to acknowledge the existing gap between this constitutional ideal and its tangible realization. Despite commendable progress, Kenya still grapples with the complete implementation of this fundamental principle. Mr. Speaker, sir, on this occasion, let us reaffirm our commitment to, 1, actively promoting and supporting women's participation across all orchilions of governance, dismantling systematic barriers impeding women candidacy and success. Number 2, celebrating the diversity of Kenyan women, embracing the multifaceted identities of women from diverse ethnicities, backgrounds, and walks of life is paramount. Let us champion their distinctive voices and perspectives, fostering a more inclusive society. Number 3, investing in girls' education is pivotal to laying the groundwork for a more equitable future. By nurturing their potential, we fortify Kenya's resilience and prosperity. Mr. Speaker, sir, together, let us translate the 2/3 gender rule from a mere aspiration into vibrant reality within the Kenyan Senate. Mr. Speaker, sir, on International Women's Day, we celebrate the achievements and the potential of women around the world. That many women face violence, including the most extreme form, the femicide. Let's not forget the countless lives lost and the families forever impacted by this injustice. Today, we commit to building a world where women can live free from fear and violence, and where femicide becomes a relic of the past. Mr. Speaker, sir, together we can raise awareness, advocate for change, and invest in creating a future where every woman is safe and valued. May this International Women's Day, coming tomorrow, serve as a catalyst for renewed dedication to constructing a Kenya where women can thrive and contribute their talents towards shaping a brighter tomorrow for all. I thank you.
Senator Hamida.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I also want to celebrate women on occasion of the International Day of Women. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 52.1 to make a statement on a matter of general topical concern, celebrating the achievements and contributions of women from all walks of life, with a special focus on the women leaders in Kewosa on occasion of the International Day of Women. This is to highlight the resilience, leadership, and achievements of these remarkable women in their efforts in promoting gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. Mr. Speaker, sir, throughout history, Kenyan women have surmounted a plethora of challenges that have tested their strength, resolve, and unity. Today, we not only celebrate their past and present victories, but also address the ongoing and emerging challenges they face in our society. Women in Kenya, like their counterparts globally, have battled and continue to face systematic barriers that inhibit their full participation in the spheres of life. Climate change poses a unique and disproportionate threat to women, particularly those in rural areas who depend on natural resources for their livelihoods. The adverse effects of climate change, including erratic weather patterns, drought, and floods, have exacerbated food insecurity, water scarcity, and economic instability, placing an undue burden on the shoulders of our mothers, daughters, and sisters. Mr. Speaker, sir, the challenges of peace and security remain paramount, as women often bear the brunt of conflict and violence. The pursuit of peace is only a matter of national security, but also a necessary condition for the advancement and empowerment of women. Gender-based violence, GBV, a pervasive and persistent issue, continues to threaten the safety, well-being, and dignity of women and girls in Kenya. Eradicating GBV requires concerted efforts from all sectors of society to create a culture of respect, equality, and justice. Mr. Speaker, sir, amidst challenges, I proudly celebrate the exceptional women of Kewosa for their outstanding leadership and commitment to enhancing women's participation across all sectors. Their unwavering dedication not only elevates women on the global stage, but also inspires young girls to boldly pursue their aspirations. I particularly commend the efforts of 21 distinguished women leaders in this House for their significant contributions to legislative initiatives since the beginning of the 13th Parliament. Special recognition goes to Senator Mariam Omar, Senator Maureen Tabitha Mutinda, Senator Crystal Asige, Senator Gloria Oroba, Senator Margaret Kamar, Senator Beth Sengo, Senator Beatrice Ogola, Senator Miraj Abdurrahman, and yours truly, Senator Hamida Kibwana, and Senator Esther Okenyuri. Collectively, they have sponsored a total of 18 bills. Additionally, out of the 11 statements made or sought under Standing Order 52.1, 52.3, 250 initiated by women. I can also recognize Senator Veronica Maina for the statements. Again, Crystal Asige Miraj, Senator Miraj, Senator Gloria, Senator Tabitha, Senator Ogola, Senator Hezena Lemetlian, Senator Beth Sengo, Senator Peris Tobiko, Esther Kenyuri, Senator Catherine Moma Karenyamu, Betty Montet, and others. Shakila, you're there. Don't worry. I'm
Order, order, honorable senators. Order.
I'm coming.
Order.
I'm
Senator Hamida, just proceed and conclude your statement, please. Order, honorable senators.
I think I have mentioned I'm coming to statements, I'm coming to motions, I'm coming to, okay. My dear sister, Senator Shakila, you're also there, but I wanted to mention you in other words. And Senator Shakila Abdallah. I've touched on Senator Kavindu, I've called her.
Senator Kibwana, okay. There is a statement that I approved. Stick to the text.
I further. These contributions.
Don't introduce another.
No.
Statement.
Mr. Speaker, I'll continue. These contributions aimed at enhancing the status of women and girls across the nation signify a substantial accomplishment. I must implore all chairpersons to prioritize the monitoring and implementation of resolutions passed by the House that are dedicated to improving the lives of women and girls. Furthermore, I extend my congratulations of the commendable work done in directly committee activities. Your efforts have been instrumental in advancing these crucial initiatives. I further wish to applaud all women governors who are leading the transformation of these counties with vigor and vision. I notably highlight the recent launch of Homa Bay County's second International Investment Conference, orchestrated by Governor Gladys Wanga during her inaugural term in office. Governor Wanga's achievements in fostering economic growth and international cooperation for her county are both commendable and laudable. Her proactive leadership serves as an inspiring example for the impact that dedicated governance can have on community development and prosperity. I also wish to applaud our three senators, Senator Tabitha Keroche, Senator Agnes Kavindu, and Senator Fatuma Dulo, for their great work they have shown. I also seize the moment to celebrate the Kenyan women who are elevating our nation's prestige on the global stage through their remarkable contributions in various capacities. Especially, I honor Mrs. Joy Ngugi, who has made history by serving the senior presidential producer in the White House, making her the first person to Kenyan descent to occupy this prestigious position. I applaud Mrs. Doreen Walse-So for her groundbreaking achievement of the Chief of Staff of Office in the Secretary General of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. Shattering glass ceilings, Mrs. So stands as the first woman to ever hold this position since the establishment of this office in 2000. Additionally, I order the late legend Wangari Maathai, Professor Wangari Maathai, on this day, being a tribalizer for environment conservation and women's rights. Her legacy continues to inspire the world. As confirmed by the African Union renaming the African Environment Day, celebrated every third March of the Wangari Maathai Day. These milestones not only celebrate the strides our women are making in leadership, but also underscore the importance of gender inclusivity and empowerment at all levels of global governance. Mr. Speaker, sir, as we look to the future, our hopes are aligned with the objectives of the Commission of the Status of Women. We aspire to achieve gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls, recognizing that their contributions are indispensable to the development and prosperity of our nation. It is our collective responsibility to ensure that women's rights are protected, their voices are heard, and their achievements are celebrated. On this International Day of Women, let us recommit.
Order, Senator Fernandi.
On this International Day of
Senator
Women,
for Kisii, kindly take your seat.
On this International Day of Women, let us recommit ourselves to breaking down the barriers that hinder the progress of women, to supporting initiatives that uplift and empower them, and to working tirelessly towards a society in equality where every woman and girl can live free from discrimination, violence, and again, inequality. In doing so, we honor the spirit and resilience of the women of Kenya, and we pave the way for a brighter, more inclusive future for all. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Now, honorable senators, because of the, if you look at the nature of business to be transacted in the order paper, which requires some considerable time, allow me to invoke Standing Order 45-2 for convenience of the House to rearrange the sequence of today's order paper. And we defer the statements under Order 53-1, and we proceed to Order number 8. Clerk, proceed to call that order.
Order number 8, motion, renewal of the mandate of the ad hoc committee on the compensation to the Kenyan victims of the 1998 bombing of the United States of America Embassy in Nairobi.
Senator Kavindu, Agnes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I beg to move that aware that at the sitting of the Senate held on 29th June 2023, the Senate resolved to establish an ad hoc committee to investigate the compensation of the Kenyan victims of 1998 bombing of the United States of America Embassy in Nairobi, and report back to the House within 3 months of its establishment. Further aware that the 3rd October 2023, on the 15th November 2023, and the Senate resolved to renew the mandate of the ad hoc committee for the further period not exceeding 45 days, and further period of not exceeding 100 days from 10th of November 2023, respectively, to enable the committee to finalize and table its report in the Senate on or before 18th February 2024. Appreciation that the committee has appreciating that the committee has a lot of work to execute. Mr. Speaker, can I be allowed to read in silence?
Honorable Senators.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for protecting me. Appreciating that the committee has a lot of work to execute before conclusion of its inquiry and reporting to the Senate. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves to renew the mandate of the ad hoc committee for a further period not exceeding 100 days from 11th of March 2024 to enable and to table its final report to the Senate on or before 19th of June 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee was able to meet victims and the lawyers and the next of kin of the victims' representatives in various victims attended meetings where it received both oral and submissions from the victims. The committee also attended both the victim prayer meeting on the 5th of August 2023 to commission the bomb blasts on the 7th of August 2024 at the Memorial Park. Honorable Speaker, the committee met the Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Health and of Labor and Social Protection and the Minister of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Minister of Interior and National Administration. The committee was also able to meet with the National Council of Persons Living with Disability. Mr. Speaker, sir, though the committee was unable to secure appointment with the U.S. ambassador to Kenya and the U.S. Congress, Senate, Senator Daniel Manzo and I were able to attend the National Prayer Breakfast at Washington, D.C., where we were able to meet various...
Senator Newton.
Various...
You're becoming notorious. Senator Kavindo, just hold on. Senator Newton, you're becoming notorious and consulting rather loudly. At this juncture, I will invoke Standing Order 121, 2A, and I'll proceed to caution you. Any further breach, we'll see you leave the chamber. Proceed, Senator Kavindo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We were able to meet various senators. We were able to meet Senator Chris Coons and other congressmen on this issue. Mr. Speaker, Senator Coons, as the chairman of the very important committee of the U.S. Senate, is very instrumental in the proposed and the ad hoc committee in amendment of the Justice for United States Victims of the State-Sponsored Terrorists Act 34 U.S.C. 112144, which provides for the establishment of the administration of the U.S. Victim State-Sponsored Victim Terrorist Fund to provide compensation to the U.S. persons who were injured in the Act International State-Sponsored Terrorist Fund. Further, Mr. Speaker, sir, I had the privilege to be part of the Senate delegation to Tanzania, where we met the Deputy Speaker of the Tanzanian Parliament and the Chairperson of the Foreign Defense and Homeland Security Committee of Tanzania, and I briefed them on what our committee was doing, taking into consideration that Tanzania was one of the countries that also suffered an attack
Nasimama na ni senator. Tafadhali kaa chini.
Thank you, Speaker. Thank you, Speaker.
Taking into consideration that Tanzania was one of the countries that also suffered in the attack at the period, they resolved that they would table a similar motion in their parliament, and they would work closely and work to ensure compensation was done. Mr. Speaker, we've been able to do much, and I'll ask Senator Commissioner Joyce to second this motion.
Senator Joyce, proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to congratulate the committee, on the ad hoc committee, for the wonderful job that they have done. I know, Honorable Speaker, this is one of the committees that is supposed to meet with the several stakeholders, because the populace victims have been waiting for this compensation for long. Honorable Speaker, I want to say that giving them time to still fast-track these will really answer the issues or the cries of the victims. And Honorable Speaker, allow me to second. Thank you.
Put the question.
Take a seat, Senator Kinyon Boni. Senator Boni. Now, honorable senators, I'll proceed to propose the question. That aware that at the sitting of the Senate held on the 29th of June 2023, the Senate resolved to establish an ad hoc committee to investigate the compensation to the Kenyan victims of the 1998 bombing of the United States of America Embassy in Nairobi, and report back to the House within 3 months of its establishment. Further, aware that on the 3rd of October 2023 and on the 15th of October 2023, the Senate resolved to renew the mandate of the ad hoc committee for a further period not exceeding 45 days and a further period not exceeding 100 days from the 10th of November 2023, respectively, to enable the committee to finalize and table its report in the Senate on or before the 18th of February 2024. Appreciating that the committee has a lot of work to execute before conclusion of its inquiry and reporting to the Senate, now therefore the Senate resolves to renew the mandate of the ad hoc committee for a further period not exceeding 100 days from the 11th of March 2024, and to table its final report in the Senate on or before the 19th of June 2024. Now, honorable senators, this is a procedural motion. It is your motion, but it's a procedural motion. You may elect to debate this motion, or you may allow the chair to proceed to put the question so that you make a decision on whether to renew or not to renew. Very well. Now, with your concurrency, honorable senators, allow me to put the question. That aware that at the sitting of the Senate held on the 29th of June 2023, the Senate resolved to establish an ad hoc committee to investigate the compensation to the Kenyan victims of the 1998 bombing of the United States of America Embassy in Nairobi, and report back to the House within 3 months of its establishment. Further, aware that on the 3rd of October 2023 and on the 15th of November 2023, the Senate resolved to renew the mandate of the ad hoc committee for a further period not exceeding 45 days and a further period not exceeding 100 days from the 10th of November 2023, respectively, to enable the committee to finalize and table its report in the Senate on or before the 18th of February 2024. Appreciating that the committee has a lot of work to execute before conclusion of its inquiry and reporting to the Senate, now, therefore, the Senate resolves to renew the mandate of the ad hoc committee for a further period not exceeding 100 days from the 11th of March 2024 and to table its final report in the Senate on or before the 19th of June 2024. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion, establishment of a special committee to investigate and report on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kissii County.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion on the establishment of a special committee to investigate and report on the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County. Mr. Speaker, sir, whereas pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, on Thursday, the 29th of February 2024, the Kisii County Assembly approved a motion to remove from office by impeachment Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County. And further, whereas by a letter dated 1st March 2024 and received in the office of the Speaker, the Senate on the 2nd March 2024, the Speaker of the Kisii County Assembly informed the Speaker of the Senate of the approval of the motion by the County Assembly and further forwarded to the Speaker of the Senate documents in evidence of the proceedings of the Assembly. And whereas pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Governments Act and the Standing Order 81(b) and 9 of the Senate by resolution may appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter. Now, therefore, pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Governments Act and the Standing Order number 81(b) and 9, the Senate resolves to establish a special committee comprising of the following senators. 1, Senator Seki Olekanar. 2, Senator David Wafula Wakoli. 3, Senator Mariam Sheikh. 4, Senator Joe Nyotu. 5, Senator James Lomonen. 6, Senator Professor Margaret Kamar. 7, Senator Okio Mtata. 8, Senator Beth Siengo. 9, Senator Issa Juma Boy. 10, Senator Shakila Abdallah. 10, Senator Shakila Abdallah. 11, Senator Crystal Lasige, to investigate the proposed removal from office of Honorable Dr. Robert Monda, the Deputy Governor of Kisii County, and pursuant to Standing Order number 82, to report to the Senate within 10 days of its appointment on whether or not its particulars of the allegations against the Deputy Governor to have been substantiated. Mr. Speaker, I repeat a phrase that I have said here many times, that in my experience as a senator, I have not found a way that you'd say is either perfect or imperfect in the consideration of an impeachment hearing. Both methods as provided for in the County Governments Act and our standing orders, either by way of a special committee or, Mr. Speaker, by plenary, are effective. Both have their own defects and weaknesses, and therefore it is for the House to elect. This is a proposal from SPC once considered. But I want to reiterate, Mr. Speaker, that on this matter, the final decision lies with the members of this House. If the members do elect, Mr. Speaker, as we have proposed, to go way of committee, I will be glad to proceed with that particular business as proposed, Mr. Speaker. If they elect otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we are ready for duty as well. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, this is a straightforward matter. It's not my decision alone. It's a decision of the SPC, and the final decision is by the House. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, with those very few remarks, because it's a fair issue, I wish to request the Senator for Nairobi to second this motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I had in fact indicated to the leader of my majority, my friend, the Senator for Kericho, that I intend to withdraw my support for this motion this afternoon for the following reasons, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, it is a fact.
So, are you seconding or not? He's looking for a seconder. If you're not seconding, just take your seat.
Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, I cannot do that.
Okay, then take your seat.
I wanted to give the reasons.
No, you don't have to give reasons. We have to get a seconder for you to get an opportunity to give reasons.
Okay, allow me to begin with the tail, then come to the head, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, at the meeting of SBC this Tuesday.
Senator Sifuna.
Yes.
Are you seconding this motion?
Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, I cannot second this motion.
Then just take your seat.
Thank you.
Honorable Senators. Order. Order. Majority Leader. You clearly do not have a seconder for this motion. Just have your seat. Have your seat, Majority Leader. Now, Senator Mandago, you freeze, you don't walk. Now, the motion for the establishment of a special committee, having suffered that setback, the fallback position is that this matter shall be heard in plenary. I will therefore be giving further directions in due course. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 10, Committee of the Whole, the Water Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 33 of 2023.
Order, Honorable Senators, order.
Division. Order number 11, Committee of the Whole, the Care and Protection of Child Parents Bill, Senate Bills number 29 of 2023, Division.
Order, Senators. Order, please resume your seats so that we can proceed. There's no need for division. Yeah. Honorable Senators. Order, Honorable Senators, please resume your seats. Honorable Senators, we have an amendment on the Water Amendment Bill 2023, National Assembly Bills number 33 of 2023, for one clause, clause number 12, which we have to deal with before we go for division. So I call upon the Chair, Committee of Water, please proceed. Move the amendment.
Honorable Chairperson, I propose that clause 12 be amended, that clause 12 of the bill be amended in the proposed new section 119.2 by inserting the following new paragraph immediately after paragraph C. Two persons, a man and a woman, who possesses a degree from a university recognized in Kenya and at least 5 years experience in a relevant field, nominated by the Council of County Governors.
Honourable Senators, I propose the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed. I put the question that clause 12 be amended as proposed. Division at the end. Can we ring the bell for division, please? Ring the bell for 5 minutes, but when you attain quorum, we'll stop it. We can stop the bell. We seem to have quorum. Sergeant at Arms, please close the door and draw the bars. Honourable Senators, we are about to commence voting. Please remove your cards from the system. Pull out your cards so that we can log in again. Sergeant at Arms, you can check for any cards that are still in the console. Okay, Honourable Senators, you can insert your cards and log in again. So I put the question that clause 11 be deleted. You can start voting. Shut up in a vote. What is this mic? And who? Is Senator Umgeni here? Senator Osotsi, please approach the desk. Senator Eddie Okech, please approach the desk. Senator Ogola, Beatrice. Oh, she's. Yes, mine is there. Senator Kinyo, please approach. Kinyo. Senator Mundingi, Senator of Embu, Senator of Embu. Okay, honorable senators, please resume your seats. We want to vote for the next amendment. And please ensure that you vote electronically. Huh? Honorable senators, Senator of Embu, please resume your seat. Senator Wajir Abbas, Senator Abbas, please. Cherargei, Sigei, more fire. Senator Beatrice, resume your seat, please. Senators, I want to urge that you vote electronically so that we save on time. So I put the question that clause 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, and clause 2 be amended as proposed. You can start voting. Okay, honorable senators, let's proceed to the next division. Let them. Okay, honorable senators, please get ready to vote for the next division.
That is leading to serious public debt issues, is leading to issues of pending bills. How I wish that then we could have many of these bills so that we fund our budget. With those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I want to support this bill, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
The Honorable Oboko Milema, member for Emuhaya.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. I would wish to indicate that this bill, which basically deals with sharing and how the counties, communities, and the national government can benefit from the natural resources that we do have, on the face of it, looks very, very good. And in fact, you can be carried away and see that it will be very, very beneficial, of which I'll be speaking to that. But at the end of it, we have to deep down look at the basis on which legal framework it emanated from and see what it means. Because if I may just briefly touch on the legal basis from which it emanated. And earlier on, Honorable Speaker, you noticed two members were asking about the memorandum of this particular bill. You will notice that basically it ends up being a money bill because it intends to create an authority. And that authority will require monies to be put in place both for employment of the people who will work within that particular authority and many other issues there which require money. And ordinarily, if you go to the parliamentary practice that we use, Honorable Speaker, money bills do emanate from this House. And this particular bill has emanated from the Senate. So there are certain fundamental issues which will be dealt with, away from the good things that I will also be speaking on, but there are fundamental things that we shall need to consider. I don't know if the chairman is listening to this, because money bills ordinarily would have to emanate from this House and not the Senate. But here we have it, and that's the direction it's taking. Number two, Honorable Speaker, I would also be happy and flamboyantly support those whom the face value of this bill seem to create a situation whereby there's good sharing of resources by the communities in that particular place, by the county governments in that particular place. And you heard even earlier speakers say that in the sharing formula, they would advise that more money goes to the county because that is where the resource is found, whether it's the coal being spoken about or the gold in Kakamega Western. And for that bit, it is okay because it then gives the local communities a chance to benefit from a resource that originates from their place and possibly also help in recovery of the exploitation processes that do occur in exploitation of any mineral, whether it's the coal in Ukambani and the gold in Kakamega, where there's a lot of digging and excavations being undertaken. And tourism can never be left out because the Maasais, for the longest time, have wondered why we still keep animals around them and say that we are protecting these animals as a resource that is actually a good foreign income earner, while at the same time for them they don't see the benefits they are getting from those animals, that the wild animals that are around them. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, I will be precise to indicate that the committee and the chair of this committee will have to slice clearly in his rebuttal, possibly when he'll be speaking to this at the end, that there are certain things with this particular law which must be removed. For instance, its placement as a money bill and emanating from the Senate. But there are good things also in this law which allows the local communities and the county people to benefit from the resources in their places. However, deep down again, when you go through the bill, you notice that most of the natural resources, so said and spoken about, there's a sharing formula. There's a sharing formula, Honorable Speaker, for the petroleum products between the counties and even the community and the national government. In fact, if there's just one area where the sharing has not been properly done, it should be water. And those are areas with the chairman, I think you should also check. It is water that has not had a proper law on how to share it, because sometimes water runs across. It may begin from Dakaini and end up in Nairobi. So how do we share across all the people, the counties that are benefiting from the water running through them? So finally, you may realize that we may isolate the sharing issue to just water and any other that may have not been legislated on or a formula has not been put in place. With those very few remarks, I want to support the bill, but with the reservations that we must straighten it so as to fit our parliamentary practice. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Jane Kihara was next, but she's also pulled out her card. The Honorable Christine Ombaka, member for Siaya County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. I'd like to add my voice to this. When we talk about natural resources and sharing of resources, we see that the time has come for it. Because if you look at various conflicts that we have in this country, they rise because of resources are not properly shared. I have an example of Migingo Island in Lake Victoria, which has been a thorn in the flesh for a long, long time between Kenya government or the people, the fishermen and women, and Uganda. That resource, the Lake Victoria, has never been resolved because somehow there is a problem there, but nobody's ready to sort it out. More often than not, you find that the fishermen are thrown out, their fish is taken away. Sometimes the fish that they have caught on that particular day is taken away, and fishermen are arrested. Some of them are killed. And so that kind of conflict needs resolution. And I believe that this bill can do a lot in sorting out the challenges that people have locally and outside the country, internationally as well. Because Lake Victoria covers many areas, many countries. And so Kenya and Uganda need to restore peace along that area and allow Kenyans and Ugandans to share that resource adequately without violation or controlling that particular area. So I think this is where this bill comes in very handy. I come from Siaya, that is another example, and in one of the constituencies, which is called Game, there is a place that is being rumored as having a lot of gold. That has raised a lot of issues. People have been to my place or to see me to help them solve it. The claim is that strangers have come, people from outside the country. They are not Kenyans. They have come to dig gold in that area. And the threat now is that the people are going to be evicted. They are going to be resettled, if I'm polite enough to use the word resettled. But they are going to be evicted and they have no idea where they are going to go. Secondly, they do not know, even these strangers who have invaded the area. So the complaint is that the natural resource that have been there for years is being taken away, and that they're being removed from their indigenous homes. Their land is going to be taken away, and their own resources that they have put in that place, their homes are being taken away. What about schools and hospitals that are surrounding the area? Those are questions that are being asked that are raising another issue of public participation that is arising from this bill. Was there enough public participation? Was there enough information to the community about strangers coming in, and who are these strangers? Who has given them authority to invade wananchi that much, to come and to throw them out of their own land where they have buried their own people, their own families, and they find it difficult to move out of that. So I've used these examples to demonstrate that when we deal with natural resources, so much needs to be done. We haven't done enough, and problems keep coming, and nobody is addressing this. Therefore, this bill, I believe, will have a long way in addressing the challenges that communities do have among themselves and with the visitors or strangers who are coming from other parts of the country and also outside the country. So I want to say that I will support this bill wholeheartedly. But another aspect that we need to consider is that we need to involve Ministry of Lands, because these are touching on the land issues. When you're digging gold, land is involved. Where is the Ministry of Lands here to save wananchi on this matter? When you're dealing with water, what about Ministry of Water? What about Ministry of Natural Resources? Where are they? Why are they quiet? So I think these are my challenges. These are some of the issues I am addressing, because time has come that natural resources must be protected, must be shared, public participation must be carried on, and everybody should share these resources equitably, so that nobody cries and says that they are being thrown out of their own land when they can be solved and can benefit everybody. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Madam Speaker. I support this bill.
The Honorable Naomi Wako.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I've heard you. What's your point of order, Honorable Member?
Mr. Speaker, under the Standing Order 95 of this House, I'm calling upon you, the Speaker, to request the mover of this motion to reply. It has been discussed extensively.
You've been challenged yesterday to indicate the reasons why. Could you proceed, please?
Because this has been discussed since yesterday, and it's exigent that it should be replied to by the mover.
Thank you. I will be considering that question, but after Honorable Naomi Wako has spoken on it.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to add my input to this very important debate, as I support this bill on Natural Resource Benefit Sharing Bill 2022. Honorable Speaker, we know that in our country, many counties are blessed by natural resources that ought to be benefiting the local community. But in the past, the people at the grassroots level have suffered, because when resources are identified, only the rich people and the well-known people make sure that they take advantage of the local people and get hold of the resources and benefit from the resources without considering the local people. And that is why today I stand to support this, because this bill, in part 2 of the bill, there is establishment and management of benefit sharing authority. And from what I have seen, this authority is a body that will help both parties, and it is important because it will safeguard the interest of the local community, of the county, and of the national level and national government. And that is why I feel it should be supported by this noble house, honorable members, so that at least the counties that we come from and that have already identified natural resources can benefit from this. And item number 6, the functions of authority shall be, number 1, coordinate the preparation for the benefit sharing agreement between an affected county and affected entity. That means that all parties, both parties, will be well protected. And if you see what has been captured, it is quite clear that the issue of people having problems and suffering will not be there anymore. And what has really captured my mind is even under number 6, item D, oversee the administration of funds set aside for community projects to be implemented under benefit sharing agreement. This will help our people to elevate themselves, get out of poverty, and also help people to educate the young people. And even the local community will, through this, then have some benefits in a way that will help the entire country. Again, under E, it is to facilitate and monitor the implementation of benefits sharing agreement entered into between county government and affected entity. Honorable Speaker, it is because of all this I support. And looking at number 8, it talks of the people who will be doing different work, appointment of the members and the members, the general director and all these others who will be holding the office for 3 years and renewable only once. And I stress on that so that some people in the past have been, going back after every 3 years, and others have remained in those entities for like 12 years. We need to create space for others, and when it says that it should be renewable only once. Again, when it comes to employment and appointment of chairperson, number 9, should hold degree from university recognized in Kenya, and number B has knowledge and at least 7 years. I am happy that this is only referring to 7 years, because in the past we've been talking about 15 years, 20 years, and lately 10 years. 7 years will make it possible for our young people to hold those offices and also bring their knowledge on board so that Kenyans can benefit from their creativity and the innovation that they hold. Honorable Speaker, as that is put into consideration, the counties that natural resources is coming from should be put into consideration so that the local people who qualify for those positions should also be considered. When it comes to number 28A, number 28.2A, County Beneficiary Committee shall consist the committee executive committee member responsible for finance and all these other things. And then number D says 5 persons, 2 of whom shall be of the opposite gender. I am excited about this simply because it puts into consideration even the gender, because in the past we know very well that gender has not been put into consideration, and when it comes to such appointments, women have been left behind. And even as we consider women, let us also consider the young girls or ladies who are qualified and who are capable to sit in those boards. Honorable Speaker, number 5, the members of the County Benefit Sharing Committee shall elect chairperson from amongst themselves, and all these other things, as I said, will benefit. And mine is just to say that for those of us who come from counties that have already had some conflict in terms like Marsabit, where I come from, there is an area that many people are already there suffering because of gold, and they try to dig the gold, and a lot of interference from outsiders, foreigners, and strangers trying to frustrate the local people. A lot of responsibility should be given to the county government, and enough opportunity be given to the local people, because it must benefit them. And when it comes to sharing, it should be 50-50, so that even the local people will benefit fully from that and recognized well in the entire thing. And with those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. It's very good to also inform the House that you make your decision from an informed basis, that the report of the committee on this particular bill was proposing rejection of the bill. And when you look at the many contributions on the bill, seem to support it overwhelmingly. So you need to know that you need to convince the committee otherwise. All the same, a member rose from his place on standing order number 95 and proposed that the mover be called upon to reply. And I now want to put the question that the mover be called upon to reply. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Mover.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First of all, let me take this opportunity to thank members who have contributed towards this, and particularly just because, as you have put it, Honorable Speaker, it is true, we support revenue sharing, but at the same time, as we have said in this, we have seen in this bill, proposed bill from the Senate, Honorable Speaker, as we are talking now, the Petroleum Act of 2019 has a formula of how they share revenue from petroleum. The Energy Act, Honorable Speaker, has a formula on how they share the resource on sunlight, that is solar, the geothermal, the wind. All that has been incorporated in the Energy Act. If you go to the Wildlife Act, Act again, Honorable Speaker, on matters to do with how do people benefit from that resource of wildlife in their region, again, there is a percentage in that. And when the committee had that public participation, we conducted a thorough public participation, Honorable Speaker. Most of the, and I said, out of the 19 people or stakeholders who came before the committee, 16 of them did not agree with the proposal, but 3 did agree. And these 3 we understood because there were community-based organization and groupings which had come, but we were just telling them that you need to read in the Petroleum Act. If you're coming from Turkana where we have a petroleum product, then there is a revenue sharing. It is only that that petroleum has never gone to the production phase for them to start benefiting. But if you come to Nakuru County, for example, they benefit from the geothermal through royalties. If you go to the Mining Act, Mr. Speaker, Kwale, for instance, now that we have a robust and the President is very keen on matters to do with mining, Kwale last year only, they received royalties amounting to 1 billion shillings. Honorable Speaker, it is not that the committee does not want the counties and the communities to, we want each resource to be dealt with at its respective acts of parliament. And that will help us in this sense, Honorable Speaker. And this one we have said, you can't equate sand as a resource with gold. If you say everybody gets 40%, then you will find giving billions of shillings to a county, that then what happens to the other country where other counties do not have this kind of a resource? We understand and we greatly appreciate the sentiment of different people, but most importantly, Honorable Speaker, as you had said again, critically because on the 9th of, not on the 9th We had sought some guidance, Honorable Speaker, on the 9th of November, 2023, when this bill was read for the first time on the 17th of August, 2023. When we started now embarking on the public participation, Honorable Speaker, on the 9th of November, 2023, we sought the indulgence of the Speaker to give us a way forward on matters to do with the constitutionality of this bill. And rightfully, as you have said, Honorable Speaker, the Constitution under a money bill, because we mentioned that, if you look at Article 109.5, Article 109.5, that talks about exercise of legislative powers. 109.5 says a bill may be introduced by any member or committee of a relevant house of parliament. But further, it goes to say, but a money bill may be introduced only in the National Assembly in accordance with Article 114. Again, that is another issue that we needed to look into, Honorable Speaker, on matters of constitutionality, so that again we don't, if we then, and of course I'm not casting aspersions to the Senate, as Honorable Murungara had indicated earlier, so as Honorable Murungara had indicated, Honorable Speaker, if you look at the consistency of the drafting again of the bill, how I wish members were here when Honorable Murungara was executing, and the chair of Justice and Legal Committee. Honorable Speaker, where the bill proposes a chairman to be appointed by the President and then approved by the House of Parliament. House of Parliament is the National Assembly and the Senate. Then does it mean now a chair of an authority will come, get approval here, go to the Senate again, which is inconsistent with the existing laws that we have, the traditions of how we make our laws. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Murungara, how I wish that people are here to, the members are here to listen to him. And we're just saying, we do agree. The only item that has no revenue sharing is about water. And Honorable Speaker, it is our responsibility now as Parliament, particularly the committee that is in charge of water, to start looking into how does that resource of water be able to benefit the area where that water comes from. But Honorable Speaker, again, it is very, I said in when I was moving this motion, the petroleum in Turkana requires water from West Pokot to get the water to Turkana so that it can push the oil, for the oil to come to the surface, and we start now doing the development. Then that conflict, and you can imagine the inter-county conflict that has, the issue of counties and how they will be, geothermal might be coming maybe 4 counties away from where it is being drilled. So these are all the issues that we have been looking to. So I want to thank honorable members that, for your contribution, but also taking into consideration that our committee recognizes there are some legislation which have very robust revenue sharing. And I think that is what we would be wanting, because all the ministries that came before us, they please allow us to continue with the formulas that we have within our respective ministries and the natural resource that we are undertaking. And there has never been any quarrel that we are not getting enough. The only problem that arose is that, like petroleum, we never went to the production stage where now Turkana. And I want to tell you, Honorable Speaker, as a country also and Parliament, we also need to be very careful so that we don't give a county a resource. I happen to be the chair of energy when we did the Energy Act in 2019, Honorable Speaker, and you could imagine that time at only 10%, Turkana County was going to get thrice the normal county allocation, thrice. And that was, we were going to get over 60 billion shillings. Do they have, now the question comes, do we have the capacity for them to be able to absorb that? If there is a problem in the 20 billion, and how then do you add 60 billion from a certain resource? And most importantly, Honorable Speaker, there are some counties which do not have resources. And this country needs to, and this House needs also to think about those counties which have no resource. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member, what's your point of order?
I'm not sure whether I should raise it now that he has sat down, but I was just wondering whether his definition of what a money bill is accurate under Article 114. Because my understanding of royalties is very different from the various aspects that are included in a money bill, such as taxes, investments, public charge on public funds. I think it is quite different. So I'm not so sure whether the Honourable Member is not misinterpreting what the definition of money bill under Article 114 of the Constitution is.
Very well. Though we don't have a lacuna because the definition of a money bill is there in law and the Constitution, which you can both refer to. But then, Chair, do you have any...
Honourable Speaker, I totally agree with my Honourable Karori. And that is, I'm not saying I'm not a lawyer, but I'm a member of Parliament. And so I do understand a little bit of law. And at the same time, Honourable Speaker, if he was here early enough, is that we had sought the indulgence of the Speaker on the 9th of November to be able to give us a way forward. Had the Speaker given us that way forward, we wouldn't be at this lacuna. But I just still want to say that the Speaker still needs to look at this before. Last, as I finish, Honourable Speaker, I wish to request for the deferment of putting of the question pursuant to Standing Order number 53.3. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much. The Speaker who was on the floor is already exhausted, so he's concluded his business, and therefore, like he has requested that we defer the putting of the question until the next sitting. It is most obliged and so directed, and therefore we move to the next order.
Order number 10, the Regional Development Authorities Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2023, second reading.
Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for this opportunity. On behalf of the Regional Development Committee, Honourable Speaker, I rise to move the Regional Development Authorities Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2023, to now be read a second time. Honourable Speaker.
Order. Members, the order paper was rearranged because you may notice that what has been read as order number 10 is actually order number 12. So we are on order number 12. You may proceed.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, the bill was read a first time on Tuesday, 6th of June, 2023, and committed to the Departmental Committee on Regional Development for consideration and reporting to the provisions of Standing Order 127. Now, Honourable Speaker, this bill was proposed in the 12th Parliament, and it was done through the Departmental Committee on Defence and Foreign Relations, and the bill only reached the second stage as Parliament was adjourned. So it is therefore important that the bill is now considered by this House to its conclusion for the intended objectives to be achieved. Now, Honourable Speaker, the bill seeks, and this is now the most important, I think, for members, that this bill seeks to consolidate the laws relating to regional development authorities and to provide for the establishment, functions, and powers of the 6 regional development authorities. And these authorities include the following, which we now want to standardize: the Coast Development Authority, which was established under the Coast Development Authority Act, Cap 449. And then 2, the Ewasonyiro North River Basin Development Authority, established under the Ewasonyiro North River Basin Development Authority Act, Cap 448. Now C, Ewasonyiro South River Basin Development Authority, established under the Ewasonyiro South River Development Authority Act Cap 447. And the Kerio Valley Development Authority, established under the Kerio Valley Development Authority Act Cap 441. And then the Lake Basin Development Authority, established under the Lake Basin Development Authority Act Cap 442. And 6, or F, Tana and Other Rivers Development Authority, established under the Tana and Other Rivers Development Authority Act, Cap 443. So, Honorable Speaker, what this bill seeks to achieve is now try to bring these 6 RDS under one law, under one act, by repealing all these other ones and then now having all the 6 RDS, consolidating all those laws into one, so that we now standardize the workings and functions of the regional development authorities. Now, Honorable Speaker, as stated, these authorities are established by separate acts of Parliament. Therefore, the bill seeks to merge the establishment and operations of the 6 authorities under a single act of Parliament. So that is the main objective of this bill, Honorable Speaker. Now, Honorable Speaker, the bill also seeks to standardize the functions of the authorities subject to the unique areas of operation of each regional development authority. Now, the functions of this regional development authority, Honorable Speaker, include the following: advising the Cabinet Secretary on matters relating to conservation, management, sustainable development, and the utilization of basin-based natural resources. 2, or B, coordinating, planning, and implementing policies and programs related to integrated development and sustainable utilization of natural resources. C, initiating, undertaking, and coordinating studies on conservation and sustainable utilization of natural resources. D, maintaining a database of the natural resources and formulating and disseminating a long-range development plan. And E, monitoring and evaluating basin-based integrated development programs and projects. Now, Honorable Speaker, the institutional framework of Regional Development Authority Bill 2023 proposes the establishment of 6 regional development authorities. Now, the composition of each board will consist of a managing director, who will be the CEO, and 9 board members. Now, Honorable Speaker, the members are to be appointed by the Cabinet Secretary in charge of regional development and ASALs. And the standardization of the institutional framework of the regional development authorities shall promote integrated basin-based development within their respective regions. Now, Honorable Speaker, the bill further standardizes the membership of the boards of each authority in line with best practices in corporate governance. Now, Honorable Speaker, the bill establishes a board of each authority with a total of 12, but we'll be proposing amendment here, members. Now, the Committee on Regional Development, in its consideration of the bill, proposes a reduction of the board members from 12 of the board members to 9 from 12, excluding the ex officio, who is the managing director. In line with the Mwongozo Code of Governance for State Corporations. Now, Honorable Speaker, the financial implication of the bill include remuneration for the Regional Development Authority boards, financing of the Regional Development Authority buildings, policy implementation, and research. Now, Honorable Speaker, the direct benefit of the bill includes better coordination, collaboration, and synergy between the different regional development authorities, and this is through standardization, like we have said, of their functions at the boards. Now, for example, stalled projects in the different regions shall be better considered under the new institutional framework. Now, Honorable Speaker, the government is keen to implement policies on economic growth, alleviation of poverty, and development of infrastructure, industries, social services, and amenities. Now, the current legal and policy framework of regional development authorities include the National Policy on Assaults, 2012, Intergovernmental Relations Act of 2012, now Devolution Policy of 2016, and the Sessional Paper number 1 of 1986, Sessional Paper number 1 of 1994, and Sessional Paper number 2 of 1996, and the Vision 2030. Honorable Speaker, if we can go to some comparative analysis of similar bills in different countries, Honorable Speaker. For example, in Bangladesh, the Bangladesh Rural Development Board operates under the Ministry of Local Government, Rural Development and Cooperatives. They receive funding from the national government to implement rural development programs such as infrastructure projects and poverty reduction initiatives. Its organizational structure consists of central office located in Dhaka, the capital city, and several field offices at the districts and sub-district levels. Now, Honorable Speaker, the institutional framework of Bangladesh enables the effective implementation of rural development programs and poverty alleviation initiatives in Bangladesh. Its central office provides policy guidance, coordination, and resource management, while the field offices facilitate grassroots level engagement and program implementation, ensuring the needs of rural communities are addressed. Now, through its multifaceted approach, now the Bangladesh model contributes to the sustainable development and improvement of rural livelihoods in that country. Now, Honorable Speaker, in South Africa, for example, now the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs is responsible for regional development, working closely with the provincial and local governments to ensure accountability. It operates as a national government department under the Ministry of Cooperatives, Governance and Traditional Affairs. It has a central office located in Pretoria and provincial offices in each of the 9 provinces. Now, Honorable Speaker, the institutional framework of South Africa supports the principle of cooperative governance, effective service delivery, and recognition of traditional leadership. Now, providing policy guidance, intergovernmental coordination, and promoting traditional affairs, the South African model aims to enhance governance, improve service delivery, and foster partnerships between different spheres of government in South Africa to enhance regional development. Now, Honorable Speaker, it is of great importance that this country emulates the approach taken by other countries for the economic good of its citizens. Now, Honorable Speaker, as I come to the conclusion of what I wanted to highlight, I just want to basically summarize and tell members and honorable members here, just for information, that what this bill seeks to achieve basically is, 1, to standardize the laws relating to regional development authorities. 2, standardize their functions. 3, standardize the memberships of the board. And finally, align this bill to the new or the 2010 Constitution. Because remember, when I was going through, each of these RDS was established through Act of Parliament way back before the new Constitution. So that is what this bill seeks to achieve. So, Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, because I don't want to belabor much here, I wish to submit that the standardization of the regional development authorities is important, as it will not only ease the interagency cooperation, but it will also simplify compliance and regulatory processes, therefore improving the legal and institutional framework for the RDS. Now, the RDS in Kenya have the potential to bring about positive change and promote inclusive growth throughout the country. Honorable Speaker, remember that the 6 RDS cover the entire country. One RDA could be covering about 6 counties. Like, for example, the KVDA, the Kerio Valley Development Authority, covers Turkana, West Pokot, Baringo, Samburu, Elgeyo Marakwet. Similarly, the Lake Basin Development Authority covers almost the whole of Western Kenya. And then we have the Coast Development Authority covering the coast region. We have the Tana and other rivers, the Ewaso-Nyiro North and South. So all that combined covers the whole of this country. And Honorable Speaker, also remember that the RDAs, one RDA transcends counties, and their demarcation is based on river basins. So it is important that, because sometimes there can be confusion, that what is it that cannot be done by counties that RDS needs to do. There are certain projects and programs that can be undertaken that cut across counties. And the best authorities that are suited to do this will be the RDS. Because RDS, like for example, the KVDA, for example, can work in a project that cuts between West Pokot and Turkana, West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet, West Pokot and Samburu, or Tiati and Samburu. So that is why these RDS are very, very important, and they will need to be supported. Now, the RDS in Kenya, Honorable Speaker, have the potential to bring about positive change and promote inclusive growth, as I've said, throughout the country. By addressing the challenges currently faced by the RDS, they can become powerful catalysts for achieving balanced regional development and propelling Kenya towards a more prosperous and equitable future. Honorable Speaker, I want to point out here that using RDS, we are likely to achieve equitable development if we empower the regional development authorities. And Honorable Speaker, I can also say here that the RDS are a bit versatile. Their mandate is so broad, and they can undertake many activities and projects and programs. So using them, we can achieve development quickly, urgently, and equitably. So that's, so Honorable Speaker, I think I have met that in a way of moving this bill. Honorable Speaker, with the few remarks I've made, I now want to request the Honorable Major Deko, the member for Garissa Township, to second this bill. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Major.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the Regional Development Authorities Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2023, to be read the second time. Mr. Speaker, as been mentioned by the chair of our committee, whom I also want to congratulate on behalf of the other members for taking as well during this process of addressing this bill. This bill was first read on 6th of June 2023, and it was committed to our committee for consideration and reporting back to the House. Mr. Speaker, the intention of this bill is to consolidate the laws relating to regional development as it is as of now. It is important to know that these authorities are established through different acts of parliament in the past. These authorities are 6 in number, and they cover the whole region. Northern, the Rift, Kerio Valley covering the North Rift, Wasanyono South covering the South Rift, Lake Basin Development Authority covering the western region of the country, North Wasanyono North covering the northern part of the country, Tarda covering the central part, and the Coast Development Authority covering the coast region of this country. Mr. Speaker, the bill seeks to standardize the functions of the authority subject to unique areas. Each authority covers a certain region, and therefore, considering that uniqueness of the operation of that area is how this bill tries to standardize, and also standardize the functions and the boards of these authorities. Mr. Speaker, the boards of these authorities, it's important also to note that we considered the fact that these members of the board must be considered from the regions where these regional authorities are operating in. Pursuant to these provisions of Article 118(1)(b) of the Constitution and Standing Order 127, the committee put up an advertisement in the daily papers of this country on June 12, 2023, and invited public participation for a representation of this bill. And we received a number of memorandums from, including East Africa, from different stakeholders, including East Africa Community, Ministry of East Africa Community, and ASAL and Regional Development, Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, Kenya Law Reform Commission, and Council of Governors, and National Gender and Equality Commissions. We considered all the recommendations and the memorandums of these stakeholders, and we held a number of public participation in Kilifi, Kisumu, Isiolo, and Elgeyo Marakwet counties on the 26th, from the 26th of October to the 4th of November 2023. Mr. Speaker, during the public hearings in the various counties, members of the public, either individually or representing institutions and organizations, made representation to the committee, and we took into consideration these their memorandums. And for that, a few remarks. I second the bill. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that the Regional Development Authorities Bill, National Assembly Bill number 7 of 2023 be now read a second time. Wilberforce, Honorable Wilberforce Oundo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to comment on the bill submitted or sponsored by my good friend Peter. Honorable Speaker, from the classrooms, we're always told regional economic development bodies were the engines of rural development. It has been a long journey from sessional paper number 6 of 1960-something, where we were told development will go to areas that have got competitive advantage. As a result, there has been disproportionate development index in this country that seemed to favor some specific regions in this country and neglected many, many other regions in this country. I think it was on this basis that during the term of the late President Moi, Torotich Arap Moi, the greatest president we have ever had, that they started the idea of some form of devolution, district focus, rural development, and those kind of things. And that's why, Honorable Speaker, I have got very nostalgic memories of the President Moi. I have no apologies to make. Honorable Speaker, over the years, these regional development authorities have run into headwinds, financially, management, and in their bid to discharge their mandate. Their mandate has been, has been affected because the way they are organized, the way they are structured, and the way they are funded. Honorable Speaker, at the advent of devolution, many governors were against this regional development on the pretext that this regional development were duplicating their duties. And it has been an uphill task trying to convince them that this regional development have got a specific duty, a specific role that they need to do. And that's why, Honorable Speaker, you have seen this has been a scramble of various governors and county governments to come together and establish some called regional development blocks, LEREB, I don't know whatever they are called, which have only been development agencies on paper. And many of us, Honorable Speaker, remember some years back, in the Western region, they collected money purporting to want to form some kind of a local bank. Where that money went to, it's only God who knows, who will let us know. But we want to make it very clear that when we look at Article 6 of the Constitution of Kenya is very clear that a national state organ shall ensure reasonable access to its services in all parts of the Republic, insofar as it is appropriate to do so, having regard to the nature of the service. The national government still retains a substantive amount of functions that has been allocated to it under the 4th schedule. It cannot in any way run away from that responsibility. It must continue to discharge that responsibility. Honorable Speaker, the regional board or development bodies, authorities as they exist today, Honorable Speaker, have got cross-cutting mandate, have cross-cutting functions that cuts across various counties. For example, if you look at Lake Victoria Development Authority, that is purported now to be to be brought into this from a separate one, Lake Basin Development Authority covers Kavirondo Gulf, covers so many areas, and it will be practically impossible that issues of conservation, issues of some kind of development, that you can leave it to account to a single county government. And that's why I want to laud my friend Peter for having decided that let's bring together these authorities. They were in scattered legislations, which it was difficult to know exactly what each was doing. So now bringing them under one purview of an act, any person who is interested in regional development will pick this particular bill, review it, and make an informed decision on how to proceed. Honorable Speaker, more or less, the bill aligns all the management structure of the various development authorities to the Mwongozo guide and the current practice that we have in this country of a fairly limited, a smaller board, a smaller and fairly focused board. Honorable Speaker, at the plenary of the Committee of the Whole House, I would want actually to challenge or ask, we will move amendments. When you look at the appointment of board members, there are, of course, the typical ones, the principal secretary for the time responsible for regional development, for the time responsible for finance, responsible for the time responsible for environment, and the rest. But there is now 8 other members appointed by the cabinet secretary, all of whom shall be appointed from the area affected by the operations of the authority. Honorable Speaker, we are handing the cabinet secretary unfitted powers. We are handing the cabinet secretary unchallenged authority to appoint even the most deserving and their cronies, as we have seen. At that particular point, Honorable Speaker, why can't we be innovative enough? Why can't we be novel enough? For example, Honorable Speaker, as we set up, for example, the Sugar Board, we provided for election of members to sit in the board who come from that area. Why can't we borrow the structure that we have such in such a manner, be it to the Development Authority, be it whatever, there is an elective process where we get the representatives of the people of the local area. Why can't we style it in such a way that those who are interested shall apply? And once they apply, there is a competitive process of nominating them or identifying them instead of leaving it to the whims of the cabinet secretary. I've tried to look, Honorable Speaker, under part 3, and I thought probably we would have cured that shortcoming. Unfortunately, there's not a very clear way that's indicated how to appoint these people. Because, Honorable Speaker, these are development agencies of the national government, are development agencies of any state organ that has got any function or an activity to undertake there that needs to be done. And Honorable Speaker, if you look at this bill, and then you look at the disaster management bill, I don't know how they seem to speak together. And I would even have asked that some bits in the disaster management bill can be migrated to this particular bill, because these development authorities understand far much better the terrain, understand far much better the ecological and environmental issues of these particular areas. Probably over time, they have established adequate systems of identifying things that requires to be done. Honorable Speaker, for example, my neighboring constituency, Budalangi, they perennially are affected by floods. And through the Lake Victoria-based development basin, they have developed early warning systems that enables you to find out there is heavy rains in Mount Elgon. Or the consequence, there is going to be flooding in Budalangi. So they send out early warnings. So that's why, Honorable Speaker, we must give this authority some bits of intervention in terms of disaster management as they pursue the mandates they were given at independence or during Moi's days. Honorable Speaker, the county governments have got a lot of money for development. We must also look for ways where they can contribute towards these development bodies to enable them to discharge their duties. With those very many remarks or few remarks, I want to thank my colleague, and I second the bill, and will make necessary amendments at the right time. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Adan Haji.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for availing me this opportunity. I have read through this bill, and I do not concur with the originators of the bill, because during the establishment of these regional authorities, those who are in charge establishing must have looked at how our country is, in that the different part of the country has got different needs. It has got different ecological system. It has got different environmental status, and hence each regional organization was established in order to suit the needs, aspirations, and priorities of that region. By putting them together under one law and putting their functions the same, more or less the same, this now will make these regional authorities to be the same. For example, if we take the the Lake Basin Authority, we look at the blue economy that is in that area. You look at the fish and all other resources that are within that area. That is what that regional authority is supposed to emphasize seriously, compared to Wasoniro North Development Authority, which is supposed to be looking at the camel and the goat. The ecological zones are quite different, and therefore my argument is that they should have specific functions for that specific area, and their development should be geared towards the need of that area, towards the what we call the comparative advantages of the resources that are there. If their functions are made the same, in some areas of this country there are oil, there is oil resource. In other areas there is no oil resource. And if you put their functions similar or the same, and they are supposed to be doing the same thing, then it will beat the logic of having formed different regional authorities. So my argument is that they should be the way they are now. If we have to change anything, we should change how they can perform better, how they can be funded better, and how the management, such as the board of members, the board can be improved better. Even in the laws that says a lot of the board should be coming from that area,
that beats the inclusivity and equal opportunity for these countries. We need integration in this country. We need somebody from Mandera to sit in the board of Lake Basin Authority, and somebody from Nyanza to sit in Wasonyiro Development Authority. That is inclusion. That is inclusivity in the country. That is cohesion of this country. But by trying to segregate it and saying that the board should only come from that area, we need different minds, we need different experiences for the development to happen. With these few remarks, I object. Thank you.
The Honorable Robert Basil, MP Yatta.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the floor. And thank you, my brother, Honorable Peter, for bringing this bill to the floor of the House. From the onset, I think I support the bill. The reason why I support the bill, standardization does not mean same functions. So I don't know why my brother, where he's reading that they are going to perform same role, where he's reading that from. Because through standardization, Mr. Speaker, we are going to ensure proper utilization of resources and ensure we mitigate aspects or elements that results to wastage of resources through embezzlement of public resources. Mr. Speaker, through standardization, we'll also ensure that we minimize duplication of roles and efforts, and that is going to yield efficiency when we have these regional bodies operating under unified law. Mr. Speaker, I also want to indicate that through standardized functions, these particular bodies will be able to achieve a coordinated approach in monitoring the interventions of the different bodies, and that would give us the desired results and the proper utilization of public resources. Mr. Speaker, I also want to indicate another very essential point as to why I'm supporting is because this particular law or this particular bill, number 7 of 2023, will ensure membership of these bodies are unified or standardized. And these will actually make it possible to give us the desired results by having people who are qualified to deliver or to discharge duties provided for in the different bodies under this particular law. Mr. Speaker, although I support the bill, I'll also have to bring an amendment based on Article 40, Section 1, whereby the common seal as given or stipulated under this bill says that a particular person will be the chairperson of the MD of the Regional Development Authority, will be the person authenticated to put a common seal. Mr. Speaker, I said having that could result to unnecessary bureaucracies and contribute to delays when discharging duties of these bodies. So that's an amendment I'll bring later on when it will be in the committee of the All House. Otherwise, I support the bill and applaud the team that crafted the bill. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Geoffrey Mwangi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to also lend my voice to this bill, and to thank the chair of the committee for the attempt to try and bring some order into the management of these regional bodies. Mr. Speaker, however, I have a slightly different view and thought as far as these regional bodies are concerned. You will remember that most of these are independence era organizations, started in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. And while it is good and prudent to think whether the laws that govern them are aligned or not, I think it is a much more important activity to take stock of what they have achieved in the 30 or 40 years of their existence. Mr. Speaker, I think it's also very important that we check whether these regional development authorities, how well are they aligned with the Constitution, and especially, devolution. The fact that they have been cross-cutting, they have cross-cutting functions. You'll find some of them are dealing with irrigation, some are owning dams that are used for power generation, others are conducting different economic activities. I personally think this is a source of confusion, because when we start looking at the backward integration to the different ministries, you find that one regional authority is dealing with matters domiciled in the Ministry of Agriculture, is dealing with matters domiciled in the Ministry of Energy, is dealing with matters even sometimes domiciled in the Ministry of Health. And again, if you look, they were all formed around the river basins. The initial tenants were around issues around water, conservation, and things like that, most of which functions are now under the ministries or specific national organizations that have been mandated to deal with these functions, whether it's Kenya Wildlife Services, Kenya Forestry Services, and the various organizations that deal with different conservation activities. So, Mr. Speaker, there is a need to do some soul searching, because a country that desires to develop and progress must always constantly review its model. The model of regional development authorities, maybe it's time we think through it and just see whether it is working for us. What have they been able to deliver? At least for KVDA, we know it delivered the Kerio Dam, which ideally, there has been the push and pull together with KenGen on how to manage that resource. And we see different examples of that in various other places. On the onset of devolution, we also established what we are calling the Regional Waterworks Company. You will see, Northern Waterworks Company, Tana and Tana Development, Waterworks Development Company, Athi Development Water Company. So again, we need to see whether this is bringing duplication, in terms of how we run these authorities. And because of the constraints that we are having currently in the exchequer and the need to utilize our resources much more efficiently, I would have thought the creators of this bill would have gone ahead, would have gone further, other than just this cosmetic cure to basically bring standardization in terms of the operations and the laws. And it is good to say, for purpose of my, the Honorable MP Haji, who has said that, now they have been, the functions have been standardized. When you actually look at the bill, each organization has its, things cut out. I think all they are trying to do is to try and align the laws and put them under one standard bill. But I think more importantly than even the standards is to say, what else, how can we make them much more efficient? How can we make them much more effective? Where are the areas of duplication together with all these other waterworks companies that have been created? Also to say, how do they align with the issues of devolution? How do these cross-cutting functions then create duplication and confusion across the various ministry departments? So, Mr. Speaker, I feel that maybe instead of this review of an integration of these regional authorities, the committee would have done a much more serious soul searching and maybe create a totally new framework, one that is aligned with the current realities in the country, one that is aligned with where we want to go as a country to ensure that we have organizations and institutions that basically serve the purpose. Because as we speak, these authorities have not delivered much. I do not support the bill, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
The Honorable James Nyikal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I support the principle of the bill. And I do because what were the purposes of the authorities? They were to take advantage of peculiar opportunities in different areas so that those potentials could be exploited and promote local development, support employment of the people, support business and economic activities in those areas, and provide local employment in a much wider area with a big multiplier effect. But Mr. Speaker, have we achieved this? These authorities are known more by their names than what you have achieved. And Mr. Speaker, the other reason has been they haven't really got a lot of support from the government. The impact has been relatively little from them. The support given to them has not been much, and they have tended also to veer, many of them, from their mandates. You find some that actually have gone into real estate, and you wonder how that is to do with local development. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I support the need to look at them, but as my colleague has said, I think it has not been deep enough. Because basically what this bill has done is actually just take the regional authorities and give them the same legal structure. So it's like you just took the various bills, and after you give them one format, then you put them back together. I don't think that may be adequate, although the principle is good. But if done properly, and maybe we look at it at the time of the third reading, it may be easier to oversight them. If they have a similar structure, the structures you need to oversight them will be easier. If they have a similar legal framework, it will be easier to oversight that. So, Mr. Speaker, I do that, but it does raise some issues. Now, there are three. There are more than the three, actually 5 linked, but they now have 3 structures they're dealing with. They are dealing with the national government structures. They're dealing with their own structures, but there is also a lot to do with the county government, which they will have to contend with. So I think we needed a more detailed approach so that those 3 aspects are really cleaned out, which I've not seen here. And the final danger we have is actually a danger of bureaucracy. If a single oversight is done and we don't do it properly, we can create a huge bureaucracy covering a large areas of the country. To that extent, I support the principle, but I think we'll have to look at it very seriously at the time of the committee of the whole House, and see what amendments can bring so that this good principle that was brought out is actually achieved. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Lisa Chelule. Do you want to speak on this?
No, I'm sorry.
The Honorable Francis Sigei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also address this issue, the bill brought by my friend, the Honorable Peter. First of all, I want to thank him for putting a lot of effort. And Mr. Speaker, I think it is also important that we thank the people who created these regional development authorities, because I think they had wisdom in what they were doing. And Mr. Speaker, I think what the chair has done and his committee is quite commendable, because what they have done is to look at the legal framework of the entire system and try to address the inefficiencies which they have actually been there over time. We know, Mr. Speaker, most of these regional development authorities have not been efficient. Most of them has been a source of employment. And Mr. Speaker, I think what we are now trying to do is to look at these authorities afresh. I support the legal framework by the chairman, but we need to look at these authorities and do some audit and ask ourselves, have we gotten the value for the money? Have we been giving these authorities enough money to operate? We also look at the issues of governance. The issue of membership of the boards. Chair, I support. I once worked with KMC, and I thought the issue of many board members should not be there. And I support this. Bill. Chair, I also want to say that I support a member from Mandera, that we still need to have that unique role of these authorities. Because if you cannot, there are things which the authority in the northern part of the country are doing which is different from Lake Basin Development Authority. So, Mr. Speaker, I want us to look at these authorities afresh. See whether these are laws for government. Are we putting our money there and not bringing back what we are supposed to do? Although, Chair, we must look at the issues which these authorities who are not looking for economic per se. They're also looking for some social activities to support the region. So we cannot look at the profit aspect. So, Chair, I want to support this motion, that this bill, because it is going to assist our people. And you see, what we need to do now is to align ourselves to the manifesto of the Kenya Kwanza. What does Kenya Kwanza want? Is it in line with what this government wants? So I really support the legal framework. But I think we need to put a lot of discussion and conversation on whether these authorities are really giving us services required. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Andrew Okwame.
Ili kupata msubiri Mungu kama sikiza tune yako, bonyeza *812 *501#.
Kijana kanipigia simu amejawa na huzuni, amefadhaika yuhoi. Nikamuuliza kunani? Japo nimetia jitihada za mtu wa kujenga nyumba kwa mate, nikaongeza kumcha Mungu, sifanikiwi. Naishi kama lofa mlala hoi, kabwela wa madongo.
Kupata msubiri Mungu kama sikiza tune, bonyeza *812 *501#. *812 *501#.
What's going on here? I just came here to ask the same question, but I'm sure your lover or your dearest aunt can explain this to you.
Nothing you can say or do is going to make me see Marcelo differently, so go ahead and save your efforts, because I'm not going to change my mind.
Your two daughters are about to pull each other's teeth out for a man that's not worth it.
Rebecca, do you know something about that man that you haven't told me?
Know that you think that Marcelo is not for me, but do I have to accept that he's for my sister? Is that it? Don't you see it? This woman is head over heels in love with you.
Shut up, okay?
Leo tunapika okra. Tunamwaga.
Unaona venye hiyo bicarbonate imefanya kazi, imebaki green.
Yes.
We'll use coconut oil to fry the plantains until golden brown.
Golden brown.
Yeah. So guys, today we have been on the show with Chef Bien, who's a Pan-African chef who specializes in fusing different African food cultures, and he's taught us how to make goat stew, Congolese style, Caribbean rice, okra special, boiled plantain, and fried plantain.
Can listen to her.